Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope all of you are doing well. Today is going to be our third episode in this beauty series that I'm doing here on YouTube. And as always, I went to the fabric store, and probably some of you are like, Arabia, do you live in the fabric store? The answer is, I do. And I found this amazing handmade necklace right here. And this rose gold piece gave me all the inspiration for today's look. This gives me like tribal, mythology, Greek goddess, something very, very editorial and very ethereal. So I went all out and I created something that I'm really proud of, and hopefully everyone likes it as much as I do. So if you guys want to know how we slayed this look, keep on watching. Today I have the beautiful Aneshka. Hello.
Thank you. Hi everyone. I'm Aneshka. I am 24 years old and I'm from India, and I am so happy to be here to have Arabia doing my makeup.
Aneshka DM'd me about a month ago, and I posted on my Insta story that I wanted to work with new models for a new YouTube series. And I was so excited because I eyeballed Aneshka's profile ahead of time, and she already reached out to me, and it was like meant to be. So before I begin, how would you describe your skin type?
It's oily, especially around the T-zone.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about the cheeks area? Are they more dry?
No, it's not dry. I feel like it's okay, very well balanced out on the sides, but over here it needs a little bit of setting.
Mattifying.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the mattifying primer, and this is the hydrating primer. And I really like this one because it has a really nice slip. It doesn't have that silicone feel to it. So it's very dewy, it's very beautiful and smoothing to the skin. The mattifying one is great when it comes to extreme oily parts of the skin. So I would use a combination. Now, you don't have to spend, obviously, your money on two primers to achieve that. On the oily parts, if you don't have a mattifying primer, I would suggest just a regular moisturizer and a good setting powder, and have the regular primer on the rest of the face. So I'm gonna start first with an eye cream, just to hydrate the under eyes. And I'm using this one from Neutrogena. Do you use eye cream?
Yeah, I use the Kiehl's.
Oh, I like that one.
Yeah, I love that.
Is it the
one.
avocado one?
Yes, and I use this one as well, actually.
It's nice.
I mix between both.
Yeah, this one is very like lightweight.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna go with the dewy primer. I'm gonna take 3 pumps, so it's a generous amount. And I'm gonna focus this mostly in the parameters of the face and the cheeks. What does Aneshka mean?
Aneshka?
Mm-hmm.
I think it means sweet music, and it's a Russian name.
Oh.
Yeah.
Aneshka.
Aneshka.
Here in Arabic we say Anushka. It's like very like...
Anushka is a very common Indian name, actually. Anushka, but...
Anushka?
Yeah.
Anushka. It's a different name?
Yeah, it's a different name. No, but I'm so used to people calling me Anushka because it's very common. It's more common, yeah.
And now I'm gonna take the mattifying primer. I'm just gonna take about a pump and a half.
When I do my makeup on myself, I use this thing. It's called niacinamide.
Oh yeah, from the Ordinary?
Yes, and I apply that only on my T-zone, and it actually works pretty well to control the oil under makeup.
That's before moisturizing?
Yes, it's the first thing. Like, after toning, after the toner, you use this.
And now to add extra glow to the skin before the foundation, I'm gonna use this by Terry CC Serum. And this is in the shade Sunny Flash. And I'm gonna use 2 pumps of this. And what this is gonna give Aneshka is gonna give her like a really nice glow from within, just before the foundation. And don't be afraid, you guys, to add this on textured skin. If you have pimples, that's totally fine, because this product is very, very natural looking. Okay. And because I'm gonna pinpoint, like conceal and pinpoint later on, I don't have to worry about that right now.
On my way here this morning, I realized I'm gonna be on camera for the first time.
Really?
Bare face, like no makeup, at least for the first half of the video, right? And I freaked out initially, okay, because I'm very conscious of the spots I have on my face. learning slowly to like embrace it and not
Yes.
have the fear of just like getting out of the house, without makeup.
Yeah.
Once in a while, because I model and I'm wearing makeup constantly, so your skin needs that break. So at least when you're not going to be on camera,
Yeah.
I freaked out initially, but then I realized, like, I've watched a few of your videos, and the models you work with as well do not have that clear, perfect glass skin, and I realized that, okay, you're someone who's all embracing, and I felt way more comfortable.
Yes, because I do not have perfect skin, and God knows 90% of people watching this don't have perfect skin either. You have to embrace what you have. Like, to me, you have perfect skin. Like,
Thank
with the
you.
spots, with everything, that's perfect skin. Like, clear skin, that's like someone who is like super...
Rich.
No, not
Rich.
rich. No, not necessarily rich. But like, you are, like, it's a godsend if you have clear skin. Not
Yeah.
all of us have it.
Yeah, basically rich.
Not necessarily.
That's
I mean,
people
have you
get
seen
clear
have you
skin.
seen those memes where like a girl with like 10-step skincare routine and she has pimples, and then her boyfriend who scrubs his face
With a
the
body
car
wash.
towel and he has like perfect skin?
Literally, it's so relatable.
But I always advise people to take care of their skin before like resorting to makeup to fix things. I have some clients, they would have like all these plastic surgeries, fillers and everything, but they don't take care of their skin.
Yeah.
Because they're used to like this full coverage foundation, and I'm like, I don't tell her that, but like I say to myself, like, you're spending all this money on like plastic surgeries and fillers and everything, but you're not taking care of your skin. Like, I don't know, do like some kind of session or something, like get derma or do a facial or something. It will help a lot. Now, before I apply the foundation, I want to pinpoint any like spots she has just before applying anything, and it will help me not to apply a lot of foundation and not a lot of concealer. Pinpointing is something that I like to do just to create that flawless base. It takes a bit of time, but it makes your skin looks like it's perfect. I'm gonna use the MAC Pro Conceal palette, and I'm gonna use this shade that is NC42. And I'm gonna scoop a tiny bit of it. You don't need a lot because this is super full coverage. And obviously you can do this also if you don't want to wear like a full coverage foundation or no foundation at all, and it will help a lot because you only need to pinpoint conceal and then just add a slight veil of powder and it will look perfect. After pinpointing, I'm actually gonna take a different Pro palette from MAC, and I'm gonna take the orange corrector, just a tiny bit, and I'm gonna add this under Aneshka's eyes, just to color correct a tiny bit. She doesn't have a lot of dark spots, but just to make sure everything is evened out. This will make sure that the under eyes will not go ashy when we apply the concealer. The way I'm blending the pinpoint conceal parts, blending around it. So I'm not touching the middle part, I'm just making sure to blend that like this. And it helps it not to completely fade away. Obviously, it will fade a little bit, but doing so, it will help a lot.
I'm learning through this. Like, I'm gonna use this trick on myself.
Especially
When I
on like
makeup.
a day that you don't want to wear
Wear
foundation.
foundation, yeah.
For foundation, I'm gonna use my favorite, which is the Makeup Forever Pro palette. And this is basically the stick foundation in a palette form. And I'm gonna use a mixture of these two shades. I tested them out last week on Aneshka and they looked like a perfect match to her skin. And what I'm doing, I'm simply like stamping in the foundation even on top the concealed areas. And what this will do is not disturb the base underneath. Also, if you want, you can use a tiny bit of powder in the color correcting areas. I'm not gonna use today, but if you want, that will help the area not to blend with your foundation and turn it orange basically. And as you guys can see, this is like the coverage that I want. I don't want something that is like super full coverage. I still want to see the skin. I still want to see what's underneath it, but make it like almost like a sheer veil of coverage.
I love that approach to makeup, by the way.
It's amazing because even if you're doing heavy eyes, somehow the look will still look kind of wearable. So even when I'm doing like heavy eyes, or even one of my clients when they ask me like, oh, I want super full coverage, my full coverage is not what they expect. Ask Aneshka.
I've been through hell.
Yeah, models have told us like it's crazy.
She told me the other day that a makeup artist. Please tell him the story with the eyelash curler.
Yeah, so I was using my phone for something really important. My dad was traveling, whatever, and my mom was on the call. Like my dad's texting me, blah blah blah. So she was fitting my eyelashes at that time. And she got really annoyed. Okay, she told me like, can you stop? I did stop, but then when she wasn't doing something, I was still like using my phone, and I know I was sitting very still. Okay, but what she does is she takes those tweezers, the ones that you use for your eyelashes, and after she put my eyelash on, she literally like squeezed like my eyelashes together. She's like, that's for using your phone. I screamed. I was like,
what the actual hell?
I was like, why are you torturing me? You know?
So just because you were using your phone, she squeezed.
Yeah.
Together,
and
she was like turning it.
Yeah, and then she had this really sadistic face on. She's like, that's for using your phone.
What the actual hell? Like, I'm laughing because it's so horrible.
It's so horrible, really.
What if she actually did something wrong to your eyes?
Exactly, and it's your eyes. You don't mess around, you know, over there.
You never mess around with eyes.
Girl. As a makeup artist, I know that sometimes you get frustrated, especially if the model is not cooperating. I've had models before who are like on their phones, like literally their head are like stuck to their phone.
Okay.
And I couldn't do my job, and I had like half an hour or an hour. Like the worst thing I did, I just took her phone.
That's fine.
And she was like, like she was a friend as well. Like she wasn't like someone.
That's
else.
funny.
That's okay. Yeah, it's fine.
I just took her phone. I'm like, hey, can you stop?
You're grounded.
Yes.
Yeah, that's cute.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Oh my god.
For concealer, I'm gonna use the Stylo-Expert stick from Brightening, and this is in the shade 5. So I'm gonna apply this right in the area where I color corrected. And this shade is like about 1 shade lighter than Aneshka's skin. It almost will blend into her skin, actually looking the same. But I usually like to apply 2 shades of concealer, so something that is like more matching to the skin. And then to highlight, I will add that on top of it. But first I will use something to match it, and that will help not to make your concealer look gray. And this is gonna be like my first layer of concealer. Do you usually highlight right under your eyes with like a light concealer?
Yes, and not just under there. I go like, you know, the triangle clown shape. The triangle.
The infamous Doritos.
Yeah, the Doritos.
So as you guys can see, you can stop here if you want. This is like the natural base, but we want to go the extra mile today. So I'm gonna obviously add more. Now I'm gonna use this shade right here from the palette, and I want to bronze the parameters of the face. And it's gonna help create that balance, almost like there's a spotlight effect in the middle. And bronzing does that. Bronzing is basically life.
I love it. Go ham with the bronzer. I don't care.
Sorry if you hear noises from my stomach.
No, I think our stomachs are communicating because mine's making sounds too.
Okay. So as you guys can see, now that the face is bronzed, I'm gonna add a little bit of the previous concealer just to carve in the areas that I want to look more defined. With whatever is left from my brush, I'm just gonna slightly add it underneath right here. For blush, I'm using obviously the M Cosmetics color drops, and I'm using the shade Venetian Rose. And the way I like to apply my blush is obviously not on the apples. I like to apply it almost on the cheek area and the parameters of the face. And it will kind of further bronze and blend that area. And that's how it looks. It looks super, super pretty. And I'm obviously gonna further emphasize this color, adding powder blush on top of it, just to set it later on. Now I'm gonna set certain areas of the face, and I'm using the Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder from Tilbury, and this is in the shade number 2. Make sure that you blend any creasing that you have. And I'm just gonna really push in the product. So as you guys can see, I just lightly set this area, and I'm gonna also spray her face with some setting spray. Okay, close your eyes.
So refreshing.
Yeah. For blush, I'm using the Sunny Flash palette from by Terry, and I'm gonna take this darker rosy shade, and this will make the liquid blush pop even 10 times more. To bronze the skin, I'm gonna use the Faded Clementine, and this is from M Cosmetics. Which is like a glowy golden orangey bronze. And I'm gonna merge this with the blush. Now that I'm done with the face, I'm going to do one eye off camera, and I'll be back to work on the other one. For this look, I'm using the gold palette from Natasha Denona, and I want to create like a mixture of this graphic smoky navy green with like an emerald and gold sparkle. First, I'm mapping the graphic eye shape using the brown shadow in the palette. I have found honestly using art or nail brushes works definitely best because they're extremely tiny and they're definitely created for like detail work. Now I'm taking these shadow cream sticks. These are from Dolce & Gabbana. One of them is like an emerald shade, and the other one is like a khaki lime green. It's more of a muted lime green. And I'm simply gonna go over that line that I created with the shadow, first with the emerald shade, and then I'm taking the khaki color and I'm blending it with that emerald shade. What I really like about these cream sticks is that they're really easy to blend, and it helps create a faster and strong color payoff without being too messy with like pigmented regular shadows. Creams are definitely way easier for me. Now I'm taking a little bit of concealer just to sharpen the edge of the eye shape. Using this dark navy shade from the gold palette, I'm taking this color on the outer edge and on the crease area. I'm also using this shimmery blue shade from the Natasha Denona palette, and I'm going to apply it on the front and the outer crease. For a pop in the center, I'm going to use this liner. This one is from Fenty in the shade Grills. And on top of it, I'm packing this gold shadow from the palette. Notice that this palette literally has zero fallout, which is definitely insane for the amount of pigment and shimmer in it. So if you guys haven't tried Natasha Denona shadows, they're just another level of perfection, honestly. I'm going to take a mixture of these two duochrome shades and I'm adding them in the inner corner and the front of the crease, and it will give you like this kind of green to gold shifting color in the front, and it will make like this beautiful kind of gradient color scheme between the green, the gold, and the navy. To create that graphic greenish blue line, I'm going to use an aqua color resist pencil, and the one I'm using is from Makeup Forever, and this is in the shade Forest. After finishing the top part of the eye, I'm going to use the same emerald cream stick as a base for the lower lash line. And I'm gonna pack on top of it that same navy shade from the Natasha Denona palette. To create like a striking kind of line at the outer edge, I'm using the same gold liner from Fenty, and I'm also adding it in the front of the eyes just to give it more of like a golden feline effect. For the lashes, I'm going to use the Sweet Lashes in Cluster Flare. These are definitely my favorite as of now, and these are basically individual lashes. They come in like single knots and 3 stuck together, which makes life so much easier while applying individual lashes. I don't want the brows to be the center of this look, so to create more of a softer bushy brow effect, I'm using a soap. As you guys saw in all my previous videos and know by now, I like to use like a translucent soap to get that bushy brow effect without damaging the actual brows. I'm not a huge fan of using gels or pomades. I'm more of like a soap kind of guy with like basically a liner pen or eyeshadow just to get that bushy kind of effect. So I'm using this lip liner. This is actually a Glide-On eye pencil, but I really like the color. This is called Torch from Urban Decay. And what I want to create is like a nudish kind of orangey bronze kind of lip. So that's what I'm gonna go with. Now I'm taking the lipstick that is called Stoned Rose, and this is from Charlotte Tilbury. This is like a brown orange color. Just gonna take a tiny bit. And I'm focusing that mostly around the lips. So I'm leaving the center bare. And to top the lips off, I'm using this gloss from Nabla, and this is called Champagne Supernova. And now that the hair is complete, she is giving me tribal goddess realness, and you look absolutely stunning.
Thank you.
And now I want to do this one final touch that will just take this look that extra mile. If you guys want to stop here while we're creating this look, you can.
We don't stop.
We don't stop,
Exactly.
obviously. So I'm gonna take this product. This is from HD Cosmetics. What this is basically like intense chrome flakes. These are really cool if you want to add them to add that extra shine on the eyes. These are obviously eye safe and you can use them. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use a little bit of an eye safe adhesive, and then I'm gonna basically take this and splatter it all over the lid just to give me that kind of crushed gold crystal eye look. And this is basically the final look. Shall we move on to the photo shoot?
Yes.
Let's do it.